Okay, you can start.
Thank you. All right, I'll give everyone a moment just to get connected and we will get started. Okay, hello everyone. It's Julie from Ocean Rehab and Fitness. Thanks for joining me today. So today's class I have planned is one of our pyramid classes, meaning we're going to do a group of exercises kind of in fairly high repetition. So kind of plan your weights accordingly. We're going to be using actually both a band and weights today. If you only have one or the other, that will still work just fine. But ideally, physio bands, and then 2 probably weights on the lighter side, just based on the fact that we will be doing fairly high repetitions with them. I'm going to use my water bottles as weights today, but you're welcome to use a small hand weight or a soup can, whatever else. Okay, sounds good. Thank you. I just see a message there. Perfect. Yeah, whatever else works for you to provide a little bit of resistance. So we will need those 2 things eventually, or 2 separate types of resistance equipment eventually. And it might not hurt to have a pillow handy as well, especially if you like that for some hinged work. I will do a little bit of hinged work and maybe an option of a little lower body engagement later on in class. But for now, we don't need any of that. Make sure you have a water bottle handy and get comfortable with some back support on your chair. Good. Shoulders are back and down. Maybe eyes to close just for a moment to focus on your breathing. So we'll take nice even breaths in and out, where every breath in takes the crown of your head and stretches it just a little bit closer to the ceiling. And a breath out, maintaining that length through the spine. So nice even breaths in and out. Kind of just noticing how that feels to sit in really tall posture. Maybe you're kind of adjusting your seat as well until you have both hip bones evenly weighted on your chair too. Shoulders are tracked down your back, so maybe you're noticing where your shoulder blades are sitting in relation to your spine, in relation to the muscles around them. And we'll just take another few even breaths in and out like that. Great. Take one more big breath in and out. You're welcome to keep your eyes closed or open them now as we start to add a little bit more movement. So just some really small neck circles to start. And back the other way. Good. And then adding a bit more size to those circles. So a nice big head circle, neck circle. Feel free to stop at any parts that feel like they need a little extra attention, and then we'll move back the other direction here too. Good, last one. Come on, back through center. Arms are going to come down to your side, palms facing back. You're welcome to still be with full back support here as you shrug your shoulders up and back, and then track your shoulder blades down your back to their stirrup position. So some shoulder shrugs using our upper rhomboid muscles to engage more than our trapezius muscles, more than these neck muscles that sit between shoulder and ears. Good. So let's do 3 more like that. 2 and 1. All right, and from there, we're going to keep that same movement going, but add a little bit more arm movement. So instead of hands to the side, hands are going to be out front, like you're grabbing onto something and pulling in. So not only are we using some rear shoulder muscles, but we're using some mid and upper back muscles to help with that squeeze and release. So shoulder blades pulling to center. Good. Let's do 3 2, and 1. All right, we're gonna take one arm and reach it up overhead now in a moment. But first, actually, let's make sure for this next exercise that shoulder is shrugged back and down. So we're gonna keep it in that position where your shoulder blade is tracked down your back. So the shoulder itself is going to stay in position as we reach up overhead and then do an active pull down. So we will be doing some lat pull downs. Yes, I do have that planned for today. So we're warming up through lat muscles right now. Okay, so we'll do 3, 2, and 1. We're gonna actually stay on this side for just another moment and do 4 more slow lat pull downs with an option of a little bit of a side flex. So maybe as you reach up, you're side flexing towards the side that you're reaching and then pull down. So that's 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. And then we'll do the same on the other side. So for now, we'll stay without the flexion. So nice and strong through our core as that arm is reaching up overhead and pulling down to your side, activating through our wing muscles, our lat muscles. Great. We're gonna do 2 more like that. 2, and 1. And then just like on the other side, shoulder is set, ready to reach with a little bit of flexion now to come off to the side, pulling into center. 3 more times. 2, and 1. All right, let's add a little bit of forward hinge. This one will depend on your level of core control. You're welcome to be at your chair back, pressing gently into your chair back. Make sure if you are doing that, that the wheels are locked on your chair and you are somewhere safe for that motion. Or if you are able to come forward of your chair back, we're going to forward hinge. No need to come to any particular distance forward. Just looking for our core muscles, rectal abdominals to engage us, to bring us forward. Good, 2 more. And 1. All right, let's do 1 arm forward reach. You are welcome to add in that flex right away or stay up tall, whichever you prefer. So one hand is still available to support and the other one is moving. An active reach and pull in towards you at hip level. Last 2 like this, and 1. And we're gonna add a little bit of rotation to this one. So we'll slow it down just to make sure that we're very conscious of the movement as we do it. The hinge is completely optional. So if you are not able to hinge and you would like to reach crossbody and pull in from an upright position, you're welcome to do that. Or we're reaching crossbody, so small amount of rotation to pull back to center. 4 times. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Same thing on the other side. So for now, shoulders facing forward, hinging optional as we reach straight forward and pull in to hip level. Good. We'll do 2 more here. And 1. All right, and then on this side as the other, you have the option of staying up tall with back support to do our rotation with row, or hinging to rotate, rowing to come back to upright position. We got 3 more here. 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. All right, so we are almost ready to go. Let's actually get the heart rate up just a little bit now. So give me some bent elbows. We're going to go single arm raises off to the side, just picking a nice even tempo where we start to get just a little bit Warmer, heart rate elevates slightly. As I said, we're doing our pyramid class today, so there's a little bit of cardio involved, but not as much as we do some days when we focus on a section of the class being cardio, just kind of have it snuck in there every once in a while. So we'll find a bit of that today, but mostly resistance work. All right, take those arms a little bit longer reach. So maybe more of a softly bent elbow as opposed to a 90-degree bend to your elbow. And then depending on how you feel, you might come up and overhead. Definitely getting the heart rate moving just that little bit faster with overhead movements. Speaking of that, I do have lat pull downs today where both arms will be overhead at the same time. So do make sure that if you have a chair that does not have anti-tip, that you are against a wall, like back to the wall for any of those exercises. Last one each way. All right, and then let's go a forward reach, one side and then the other. Good, you can get this one powered up just a little bit if you like. So starting to add not only a little bit of speed, but also a little bit of extra muscle control to this movement. So your arms are powerfully moving as opposed to swinging. So we'll do a few more like this. You are welcome to stay in this alternating arm position or change to dual arm move in just a moment. So stay here or get ready to do a few double arm moves like our cross-country skier arms. Great, so let's do 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so we're going to start our first pyramid, and by pyramid I mean we're going to do 5 of 3 different exercises, and then we'll do a set where we have 10 repetitions and then a set of 15, 10, and 5. So as I said, lots of repetitions today. Keep your weights comfortably low, just because we're certainly doing more than 10 reps of each exercise. We will eventually need our band, but we don't need it right this second. So you're welcome to have it available on your lap, but we don't need it quite yet. We're going to do a set of burpees first. So this is the first piece to our pyramid. We're going to do 5 burpees. We'll do them fairly slow for this first set, just to kind of get into the groove, and then we'll speed it up a little bit from there. So our burpee is reaching down to the ground and then pressing up to the ceiling. That's 1. 2. And that reach down to the ground is a hinge. Great, 1 more. All right, so that is the first piece. The second piece is our lat pull down. So we are gonna grab our band. You don't need too much space between your 2 hands for this, although it certainly does depend on how resistant your band is, how thick it is. Shoulders are set, so those shoulder blades are tracked down our back. Hands are ideally up overhead, although they can be at eye level if that's feeling better for you today. And then hands come away from each other, elbows pull down to the side. So that's our lat muscles engaging. Release up, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good. And then our third move in this sequence is chair sit backs or chair press backs. So if you are able to come slightly forward of your chair, you will be doing a chair sit back, meaning that you are nice and tall, good spinal alignment to start. Hands can be on your lap, or they can be holding your band out front just for a little bit of extra workload as you sit back towards your chair back and then engage through your core to pull you upright. Remembering to take nice even breaths in and out. Don't hold your breath here. And if you are not able to come away from your chair back, you are welcome to do a gentle press into your chair back for that same engagement. So you can be all the way back, press in, release out. Almost like you can imagine that you have like a tennis ball sitting at your mid back that you're pressing into onto the chair back. and coming forward again. So that is our 3 moves. We're moving into 10 of each exercise now. So we'll speed through just a little bit faster now. So 10 burpees. Here we go. Reach down and up. That's 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. Grabbing that band, getting ready to do some lat pull downs. So if you do find that you wrap the band for better grip, we can stay like this for 2 of the exercises together now. So starting up high, pulling down, elbows towards your side for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. If you are able to come forward for the chair sit backs, you are welcome to it. Band can be out front if you like. That is not necessary. Sitting back towards your chair back, pulling back up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And that is our 10s done. We're up at the top of the pyramid, getting ready to do 15s now. So getting ready for 15 burpees. Here we go. Reaching down, reaching up. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Excellent. Moving straight into our lat pull downs. Maybe give that band a wrap. Shoulders are set. As these shoulder muscles get a little more tired, because they are certainly still working as well as our lat muscles, you can come to more of a forward position if you need to for 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. 15 is a lot of those. And then forward on your chair if you're able, as we do our chair sit backs or press backs at your chair back for 15. Good. We got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, almost done, 13, 14, and 15. All right, that is the top of the pyramid done. It all gets a little bit easier from here. So we have 10s that we are doing next, starting with our burpees. Here we go, reaching down, reaching up. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Lat pull downs for 10. This one is the exercise that just feels like it takes forever, right? Shoulder set, reaching up, squeeze and pull down for 10. 9. Nice and close to your face, almost like you're flipping your nose on the way down. Good, keep going. I talked at one point while I was counting, but I think we have 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. Good, band can stay out front if you like for those chair sit backs. Here we go, sitting back for 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, that is our 10s done. All we have left is 5s. Those are going to feel so quick now. So let's do 5 burpees. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. Let's get our last 5 lat pull downs done. Shoulders set, reaching up or eye level if you're finding those shoulders are getting tired for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. And then our chair sit backs, last piece to this pyramid, sitting back for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, good. So first pyramid is done. Why don't you have a drink of water and we will get set up for our second round. Yeah, I had talked about using, let's see. No, I would like to use the weights for our next round. You don't need them quite yet because we are doing a set of seated jacks. However, if you do use something like the active hands where your weights lock in place to help with any grip strength issues, you're welcome to have them in hand and just do smaller movements for our little cardio burst that we're going to do first, which is seated jacks. So here is our first 5 of the new pyramid. It is our seated jacks. And I'm going to count this one out. We're not just going to do 5 jacks. We're going to do my slow count to 5. So as many as you can do in that time. You're welcome to go all the way up overhead or a little bit smaller reach. You can do both arms at the same time as well. Good. So we'll do last 2 and 1 for now. So that was about 5 count of that. Our second one is our row. We're going to need our weights for the next 2 exercises. And for this one, you're welcome to be back on your chair or slightly forward for a little bit more core workout here. So we're going to do an alternating row, pulling back. Actually, I think we'd like to do both. I would like for us to do both together instead. So let's go wide row, both squeezed together. If you're forward on your chair and you want to do just a little bit of a sit back at the same time, making sure you're not changing your low back positioning here, but challenging your core, you're welcome to do that. Good. So we'll do 1 more here. And then our third exercise is a core exercise. It is our oblique side flex. So weights will be down at our side. Hips are evenly weighted on the chair. Shoulders are back and down. This doesn't need to be a big move. We are side flexing to one side, using our opposite oblique muscles to pull us back up. Side flex to the other. So that's 1. 2. It needs to be slow enough to really engage those muscles on the way back up. 3, 4, and 5. Okay. So as I said, if you use some kind of a grip device to hold weights in place and you want to leave that, you're welcome to keep your weights in hand for your seated jacks, but it will be a little bit of a shoulder workout to have those weights in hand. So I'm going to set mine down. We are going for 10 here. So seated jacks, single arm or dual arm. Here we go. We got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. All right, grab those weights, getting ready to row. Again, you're welcome to be slightly forward on your chair if that's available to you, to add just a little bit of sit back at the same time as we row. So coming into a wide stance, shoulder blades pulled together for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Come back up tall. Weights can come down to your side. Shoulders are set. Hips are evenly weighted here as we side flex. So again, slow down enough that you can really focus on that engagement of muscles to pull back up to center each time. That was 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9, and 10. Excellent. I'm setting my weights down again, up to you which you do as we get ready for our 15 seated jacks. So here we go, single arm or dual for 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. Moving on to our row, we got 15 of those coming up here. Here we go, weights in hand. I should mention as well, if at some point it gets to feel like the weights in hand are feeling a bit much as we do some of these high reps, you're welcome to set the weights down and just move through range of motion as well. Here we go with our row for 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay. And then keeping those weights in hand or setting them down if you feel that's best for you. For our side flex, this is a lot of them. Here we go with 15. Good. That's 1. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, almost done. 11, 12, 13, 14, and last one here is 15. Great, set those weights down. If you need a little bit of a reset before we continue down the backside of this pyramid, you're welcome to do a bit of a forward hinge so hands can come to your lap just for a moment. Forward hinge, trying to maintain that long spine, just looking for a little release through your low back. Or instead, back on your chair, thinking about stretching up through your spine, so coming nice and tall for just a moment of reset before we get ready for 10 of each exercise. And this will be the 10 and the 5 are the end of our pyramids for today. So in case this is feeling like just about enough, we are almost done. So we have 10 seated jacks to do. Here we go, single arm or double. We got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. Okay, grabbing those weights if that is best for you as we do 10 rows. There we go. Sitting back is optional for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. And then keeping those weights in hand if you decide that is best as we get nice and even and are on our chair in order to do our side flex nice and slow for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Set the weights down or keep them in hand. I'm just going to keep mine in hand this time as we do 5 more seated jacks. So here we go, last of the pyramid. If you have weights in hand, make sure it's with control that you are moving. And we got 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. Okay, 5 of our rows. We might slow them down for a little bit of a slow motion. So a little extra squeeze of shoulder blades together, Oh my goodness, at the back end. Something's caught in my throat. Do 5 of them while I stop myself from choking. One moment. When you've done 5 of those, I will rejoin you. Good. Hopefully that's the end of that. Weights are down at your side. Shoulders are set back and down, evenly weighted on your hips. We'll do these ones fairly slow too. I know they have become a little tedious. We've done a lot of them. Slowly up. Hinge down or flex down, slowly back up. That's one. 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, we are all done with those weights for today. I just have a couple of last exercises for us, and I'm going to be using a small pillow for the last little bit. So I have just a few different things to do. These are ones that you've seen periodically, or this next one is one you've seen periodically through class. So for those of you who do not have the ability to use your lower body in the way that I'm going to describe, you are welcome to use this as a postural and core exercise instead. I'm going to take the pillow and wedge it between my 2 knees, checking in with my posture first, and then depending on your level of injury, if you are able to squeeze against the pillow, squeeze knees in towards each other and release, that's our inner thighs engaging. If that's not available to you, perhaps you will do a butt squeeze instead, or a postural check. So that length through your spine every time, like lengthen and then release, but hold that tall spine throughout. So lots of different things. You can be doing all 3 of those things at once, or in any combination. So inner thigh squeeze, butt squeeze, and a spine lengthening. So sitting up really tall each time. Hands can be on your lap for support, or on the sides or arm of your chair. Good. So we'll just do a few here. This is not one of our pyramid exercises. You do not need to do 50 of these. We'll just do 3 more actually. 3, 2, and 1. Good. If you have the pillow set between your knees, you might choose to just leave it there. I have one more exercise that is a little bit more outer hip muscle engagement. We're actually just going to use our hands for that one. And if you find that this causes the pillow to fall out from between your knees, don't worry about that at all. But it's not going to be a very big movement. So it's possible, depending on the size of the pillow, that it might just stay there and provide a little bit of extra spacing for your knees on the return back to center. So again, if this is not available to you and you want to do a few more butt squeezes or that spine lengthening, you are welcome to do that. Or hands come to the outer edge of your knees, pressing into your hands, and then just coming back to a regular knee spacing. So maybe a tiny pillow squeeze. So press in, squeeze back to your start position. Good. So we're just going to do 3 more here. We didn't do too many of these. That's okay. Last one. Okay. I want to sneak in one last exercise before it is time to stretch. Maybe I'll even get a multi-part exercise in here. I'm going to take the pillow now to my lap to provide a little bit of support as I forward hinge. So many different variations here as well. It will depend on your level of core stability, which one you choose. So if you can think about this one in a T position, so your arms are going to come up into a T, so shoulder height. You are welcome to do this fully seated. So you're thinking about shoulder blades pulling to center and rear shoulder muscles engaging. So that's our first choice. Our second choice is to do single arm with a bit of a hinge. So one hand, if you need it for support, will be at your lap, and the other hand will be just dangling right beside your calf muscle. And then we'll do half of a T. Or if you have the core support and do not need that hand on your lap for support, you might do both at the same time. So a big wide movement here, being driven by the shoulder blade muscles, our rhomboid muscles pulling to center. Good. If you're using one arm only, you will switch sides now and do a few on that other side. And we're all going to do 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. Okay. So in conjunction with, we have some directional changes that we can do with our hands. Exact same setup. So now if you would like to go in a little bit more of a V position, and we have done a fair amount of overhead work with our lat pull downs today. So if your overhead is here, that's fine. If you want to come all the way up to kind of ear level with your arms, that is fine too. So that can be a seated move into a V. Or once again, it can be a hinged move, starting kind of between your legs for that setup point to come into our V position, single arm here. Or again, if you have the core control to have that support through your spine, so using your core to support as both arms come into a wide V, shoulders away from your ears. Good. If you are doing single arm, you will switch now, other side. We'll do 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, I have one more piece to this, and then we are ready to stretch. This one is the trickiest of the 3, especially as we're forward hinged. So just try it out. We're only going to do, let's say we'll do 4 in total. So you can pick after I show you the options, and I will let you decide from there. So if we know that for these exercises, our shoulders need to be set back and down, if we to reach straight forward into more of an I position, this is how it will look. So from an upright position, depending on your shoulder mobility, it might be a little bit easier to maintain shoulders back and down, long spine. It gets a little trickier as we hinge forward. So try it out if you feel like that's best for you. Again, it can be one arm at a time, or it can be both together. But we said we would do 4 of them in your chosen method. So once you've done 4, sit up tall and our hard work is done. Grab another drink if you need it, and we are ready to stretch. Okay. We also don't need the pillow anymore, so you're welcome to set that down if you like, or keep it on your lap. It's all good. So let's get ready to stretch. The first stretch will look exactly like what we were just doing from a movement perspective for the T, but with a little bit softer elbow. So we're going to start on one side. I'm going to start on my left. You can start on your right if you like, and come out to the side for a little pause of a chest stretch. And maybe you'll add just a little bit of rotation to your stretch. So you might come and move towards the side where your arm is reaching. Good, one more here. Come back to center. Let's go a little bit lower. You're gonna now reach diagonally back behind you. So diagonally low. Maybe you'll rotate again if that felt nice. We're doing it slow enough that we should be able to control that rotation just to a nice comfortable degree. And maybe you'll even do a little bit of a shoulder check. So looking down towards your fingertips of that moving hand. One more here. Good. Our next one, same side, is going to be up and over to stretch through our lats. So we'll do it a few times with movement, and then we'll actually hang out for a bit of a stretch. Free hand can be on your lap for support, or holding onto your chair for support here. So reaching up. A little bit of a side flex. So we'll do 2 more like that. And 1. And then we're going to do it one more time where we hang out there for a stretch. So reaching up, maybe pressing diagonally, like you could reach all the way to the ceiling, getting a little extra space to stretch through that lat, and seeing whether you can't keep your shoulders fairly forward facing as opposed to rotating through this one. Good. Ease your way back up tall. I have one more stretch on this side and then we'll move on to the other. Our next stretch will bring our arm cross body. So tapping on the opposite shoulder, maybe a bit of a squeeze to draw that arm a little bit farther across. And it will stretch out through our mid neck muscles by dropping our ear towards the hand that's reaching or that's resting on your shoulder right now. Good. Come on, bring that head back to center, unwind. Let's see if I can remember all those stretches for our other side now. So opposite side is going to do our bent elbow side reach at about chest level. We had the option of rotating a little bit through the movement here. So if that feels good for you, go ahead. Slow and controlled. Good, we'll just do one more like that. All right, and then we're starting to reach with a long arm sweeping low diagonally back behind us, maybe with that same rotation or body facing forward, focus just on the shoulder muscle, that's fine. Good, last one here. All right, and then we did some reaches up and over. So we did it with movement to start with, reaching up and over. So we'll do one more like that. And then we'll pause for an active stretch. So reaching up, really actively pressing the base of your hand towards the ceiling, diagonally towards the ceiling. Trying to see whether you can get those shoulders more or less facing forward for this movement. Good, ease your way out of that. And I believe our last one was that cross body reach to touch your opposite shoulder. Bring that elbow in for a little bit of a hug, and then drop your ear towards the shoulder where your hand is currently resting. Good, ease your head back to neutral, unwind that arm. Our last stretch for today before we do our breathing exercise will be a forward hinge if that is available to you. We did a fair amount of hinging today as an option. So you're welcome to do this one as just a release through your hips, through your low back. If you prefer the cat-cow where you're moving through range and moving through that spine a little bit more, you're welcome to do that. So that's looking forward as you come forward, curling that spine back up, coming up tall. That is fine. Or if you would like to just hang out in that forward hinge with a long extended spine, especially if you feel like you have some tension that you'd like to kind of just work out, take some nice even breaths in and out here. And if those options are not available to you, being comfortably on your chair back instead. Again, checking in with that spinal length as you take some nice even breaths in and out here. Good. All right, come on back to seated tall with back support. We're finishing off with a bit of a breathing exercise, so you're welcome to take your eyes to close here. And we're going to think about our positioning of our shoulder blades again, just to finish things off. We did quite a bit of overhead work, but hopefully you noticed that with that overhead work, you could keep your shoulders back and down with those shoulder blades set in place. So I don't want this necessarily to be more than just a nice even focus on breathing with awareness of where your shoulder blades sit right now. So we've used them in a set position for the majority of class today, and you kind of just notice how that feels. Maybe you notice the set of your shoulders accordingly. They're slightly back farther than they might be throughout other portions of your day. And then maybe you can just notice the rise and fall of your chest. a little more space to breathe when our shoulder blades are set in position as opposed to slightly forward rounded. So take a moment here, just kind of appreciate a full breath in and a full breath out through expanded chest where we sit in a nice tall posture. Good. You can take 2 more nice big breaths in and out while you're here. And then you can bring your eyes to open, and we will finish class as we always do, starting with a reach down low and then reaching up to the ceiling. Big breath in, 3, 2, and 1. Great. Thanks for joining me today. If you have any questions, I'll hang around for a few, and otherwise, I hope to see you again. Thanks, Gordon. I see your message.
Hi there, thank you.
Thanks
I
for
did
coming.
chair yoga yesterday. I don't know if that's what did this, but I've got a sore spot right at the top of my left hip on the back, right on
Oh,
the top of the bone. I don't
yeah.
know what to do about it. Any suggestions?
Well, it's hard to say. How does it feel now after it's warm and been moving for the last hour?
It's not as sore as it was first thing this morning,
Right.
but yeah, I still feel it.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know what else is available to you as far as movements go. You're welcome to try a couple different things. If you were lying on your bed and you can have your knees bent and your feet down flat on the bed, and just let your knees kind of drop into center. So you can have kind of a wide stance to start with and let your knees drop in just to give your hips a reset. It's not going to target that exact muscle, but I wonder just if, letting your hips kind of relax a little bit is going to help that. And then depending on how it feels, and this will be all your own tolerance level. Another thing you might want to try is something like a tennis ball, or it's a little less forgiving, but something like a lacrosse ball. Yeah, right there where you can just take it onto your chair back or another hard surface and give yourself a little self massage in that area, or even just a little bit of gentle pressure. So I wouldn't leave it there for long, but if you were kind of sitting into the ball and then releasing, and just see if that helps a little bit. That's a couple ideas I have just kind of off the top of my head.
Thank you.
Hope it feels better soon. Nice to see you.
Thanks. Yeah.
Bye.
Okay, everyone. I'll see you guys next week.
All right. See you next week.
Nice and quiet today.
Yes. Thank you. Bye.